Hello everybody, I'm Storm here, and welcome back to Stellaris. In the last episode, we got our new series started featuring the United Republic of Alar, which is a co-dominant species civilization of both humans and elves. And what we did is we got our initial scientific research started. We began the first surveys of our local star systems and our initial exploration of our local neighborhood, and in doing so we've run into a bunch of hostile alien forces that we're going to need to try to deal with because they're going to really get in the way of our ability to expand. And then one of our science ships, in their efforts to survey, entered this system, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. We're probably going to need to rename this system, so I might take suggestions for names. That was known to be a black hole, that we have been able to observe this from the surface of our homeworld and knew that there was a black hole in the local vicinity, and our scientists were excited to finally get a close-up look at one of these. And when they entered the star system, they got a shock, because what they found was a massive ring world structure around this black hole, and which was evidently built by some ancient civilization that possessed great technological abilities. And so we've begun our initial studies of the ruined structure and discovered a bunch of precursor technology that we're probably going to keep our scientists occupied for a very long time dissecting this structure. And who knows, maybe in time we will learn the secrets of the technology of the ring worlds and be able to repair this structure and perhaps use it ourselves. We'll see how that goes. So, the other thing that we kind of discussed last episode is that I wanted to kind of put together a bit of a backstory for our civilization. And I kind of asked for people to suggest things, and I did get a suggestion from one of the viewers, and I kind of read through that. It was pretty good, and I've decided to go ahead and tweak it a little bit. So what we're going to say is that for thousands of years on Alaria, the humans and elves have had very different civilizations. The elves, because they have a very limited range of environments in which they can properly survive, tended to group into very kind of stable, static, sedentary communities, whereas the humans tended to expand and acquire new territory, try to gather new, more natural resources, and forge great empires. And what ended up happening is that the two communities would inevitably get into various territorial disputes, which often led to warfare between both races. As the humans continued to expand and grow throughout the world, this increased over time, eventually developing into great animosity between the two civilizations, until about 1500 years ago, where the humans entered an industrial age and began building great steam-powered war machines, and used these to try to finally, once and for all, subjugate the elves in one massive war. The elves, though, had, if the stories are to be believed, developed near magical psionic abilities and used them to fight the human mechs, or steam-powered war machines, I guess you could say. And the war so thoroughly devastated both civilizations that both civilizations completely collapsed, plunging the world into a 1,000-year-long dark age in which much of the knowledge of the old world was lost. Therefore, the various communities that Sorry, this music is distracting me. The various communities that survived the war then were kind of forced to try to work together, and those that were able to set aside their differences and begin working together survived and thrived, and those that did not fell out of history. And so, about 500 years ago, the surviving kingdoms of humans and elves entered a great pact to forge a global council to make sure that the war that once destroyed the world does not happen again. And over the centuries, over the last 500 years, that council has grown in power and authority, developing into a full-on sovereign republic, taking over the sovereign powers of the various kingdoms and making them merely administrative districts now. So, we now have our democratic republic. The world is in a golden age now of peace and prosperity. We've developed fast and light travel, and we've begun exploring the stars. So, that's kind of what I've been able to put together between my own ideas and the suggestions of the viewers. So, I guess with that out of the way, let's go ahead and actually get this started. Let's unpause it. I did want to go ahead and did actually go ahead and build up the fleet. Yeah, and the reason why that music was distracting me is I hadn't heard that one before. Must be new with the new DLC. So I built up the fleet to as large as we can possibly make it. Oh, we got one more ship coming off the line.
Complete.
Alright, survey's complete. Here. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to go over here and do a survey of this system. I need to find a habitable world that isn't like swarming with enemy ships. Were these... I think these were mining drones, if I remember correctly. Alright. Let's put them on aggressive stance. Bunch of corvettes. We have an admiral. We have pretty good combat capability. So I'm actually going to send our fleet off to try to clear out this system. And I think we're going to send our construction ship.
Survey complete.
Let's build this mining station over here.
Construction complete.
We have a new construction ship. There's a potentially habitable world here. That's good. We have a new tradition we're going to take here. I guess we'll take the Federation. Unlocks diplomacy to form federations. Oh, and the other thing I think I forgot to mention about the whole storyline is that that while the oh, we got a battle going on over here. That while the stories of the psionic powers of the elves are deemed to be fanciful exaggerations, recent scientific developments in the field of study seem to suggest otherwise. Oh, anomaly fail risk. Oh, hold on, pause it. By chance, we stumbled upon a faint alien signal during the survey of this moon. The source appears to be a small object in orbit, Signal contains no message. Could it be a distress transponder? 5%. Go for it. Alright, so we got this.
Technology discovered.
You guys, go blow that up, please. Science ship. Can you actually come here and do the research projects? And then survey.
Engaging enemy station.
What do we get? Monthly influence +1. Naval capacity farming subsidies. We're going to take the farming subsidies for the better hydroponic farms. And this revelation that psionic abilities may actually be a real thing have kind of spurned the imaginations of our people. Which is why we have the Arcane Society's ethic. Alright, so let's go ahead and head back home for repairs. Mummified pilot. The mummified remains of a single individual belonging to a previously unknown mammalian species have been found drifting in high orbit over Rimborth. The being is dressed in what appears to be a flight suit, complete with her helmet, and may be a fighter pilot that ejected in some ancient battle, only to be forgotten and left behind. Our study of the corpse has provided some interesting data. Alright, our science vessel has arrived. See if we can get some work done on that debris. Alright, construction ship. We need more minerals. So I want you to come over here and start building mining stations. We need to get this system in our border. Let's see, this was 739 power.
Construction
679. Way more than we can deal with right now. We are down 3 ships. Let's rebuild those ships. Survey the stars. For millennia, we have looked to the stars trying to understand them, but they were always beyond our reach. Now we finally have the technology to do so. Some of our best scientists are eager to go on an expedition to examine the stellar bodies up close. They've already prepared a list of nearby stars of different types that would be the best targets to study. Very thoughtful. See that list. Alright, let's actually flag that one on the map. That's for more advanced mod. Habitable world surveys. High value. Using... likely to be particularly rich in... okay. And study the stars. Well, I think we'll stop tracking on that. We're going to do study the stars first.
Debris analyzed.
Alright, what do we get?
Survey.
Mining drone lasers, gel suspended armor, fusion power, physics research, engineering research. It's a binary star system. Interesting. And we have a habitable world. A continental world. Oh, what do we got here? Extensive reef systems. The shallow seas of this world are dominated by massive reefs, harboring impressive biodiversity. Not only do the fishing and tourism industries tremendously benefit, but researchers also flocking to investigate the many forms of life that live here. I don't think we have enough to build a colony ship. Alright, we're going to need to build up some minerals. Go ahead and do the research project, and then survey the system. Not sure why this system is pulsing. What do we got here? This is a Class A star. It's a pretty large system.
Construction complete.
Alright. I was saying, we could go build some stuff, but I think I want to get that colony ship built first. Alright, our fleet is back up to full strength. I'm probably gonna need another science ship. At least one more. Alright, we're about to get the powered exoskeletons.
Technology discovered.
Ah, yes, he said we found this this early space age civilization here. Powered exoskeletons. Let's see. Oh, level 2. That's gonna take a while. Let's go for it. 90 months. Alright, what do we know about this species, by the way? The Fexglunga. Let's see, that is Savannah preference, they're natural engineers, and they're rapid breeders. You know what we could do here? Well, the problem is if they... We could try to elevate them. Let's see. Indoctrination. Through subtle influencing their society and culture, the natives can be brought around to our way of thinking. Make the natives adopt our governing ethics over time. Or we can just go ahead and do technological enlightenment. I'm not sure what their governing ethics are. They're fanatic militarist materialists. So, quite a bit different from us. But they're pretty close to achieving, full space capabilities on their own. So we might want to just go ahead and try and basically enlighten them. A-class star sight. This very bright star will probably burn out in a few million years, which is very soon in the astronomical scale, as the fusion process in its core are extremely fast. During the examination of Manthal, Science Officer Bortolakademon noticed that onboard solar collectors generate 150% of the normal amount of energy. It wouldn't be surprising, considering the radiation present, but it's interesting that they didn't melt. Study them further, so we'll get 50 physics research, or we bank 100 energy. We don't really need the energy, so let's go with the research. I guess we go for the technological enlightenment.
Anomaly detected.
Asteroid 49F399 is emitting some form of radiation in controlled burst. Is someone or something trying to communicate with us? Let's find out. That's going to really cramp my society research. Is there any way that we can mitigate that? Possibly. Rock Brain. A scan of the particularly massive asteroid 49F399 yields fascinating results. The rock's core is shot through with a network of conductive crystals carrying a weak electric charge. The crew on the URSC Andronikos Kyros recognized this matrix as a primitive neural lattice and believed the celestial body to be thinking in some capacity, if not fully sapient. They seek permission to excavate the core and transplant it to the nearest orbital station for closest study. I think we're going to leave it in place. Make do with what you can study from the surface.
Technology discovered.
Alright, what do we got? Better power plants. Alright, so I guess we'll go for the 5% additional research speed. That's just going to help us in general across the board. Well, now we can do this colony. What is this? Alright, let's go ahead and get this colony going. Our first colony. Do we want to send humans or elves? Elves have a better habitability rating here, so let's go ahead and let's send elves. Let's drop the ship here. Alright, so this planet here is a Cascadian World. This is the class of planet. Let's see. Cascadian World, sub-temperate mountainous world with a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere consisting of boreal forests and towering mountain ranges. An active, stormy hydrosphere with strong differences between snowy winters and short, warm summers. 65% habitability. They have very high gravity. We can just go ahead and actually speed it up quite a bit.
Survey complete.
Survey is complete. Special project. I guess go ahead and hit the research projects. And then I want you to survey this system.
Survey complete.
Alright, survey is complete here. Let's guess we'll just keep going through here.
Construction complete.
Spaceport's finished as Q. Let's get that solar panel network building.
Detected.
Ah, what's this? During the survey, scientist team has detected a structure on the surface of this asteroid. Go ahead and research that. What can we do on the surface of our planet? Let's go ahead and get these power plants upgraded. Let's get this tile blocker cleared. Let's build a science lab. M-class stars studied. This type of star is old, and the fusion process and its core have slowed down. This allowed us to fly up much closer and study the fusion in greater detail. Alright. Increased our knowledge of fusion power. Probably want to build a mine. Lost laboratory. We have found several interesting leads from the base, despite much of it being destroyed. In a part of the structure open to space, we have found a large repository of biological samples, some of which have intense regenerative properties. From the fragmented archives, we were able to decipher. It appears the research base was intended to help combat a virulent plague affecting their species at least several hundred years ago. Given the end state of the laboratory, it seems that initiative most probably failed. It seems that initiative most probably failed. While the virus should not affect our biology in any way, Proto-Lacedaemon has suggested placing a facility in orbit to assess the samples and the original research, and has quarantined all personnel who access the laboratory for a time. That's prudent. Alright, let's get some stuff built. We want a research station. So we need to wait to the end of the month to do it.
Construction complete.
Go for it. We need to get our society research built back up while we enlighten.
Establishing colony.
Alright, the first colony. Our colony ship has gently touched down at the mouth of a large river delta. One of the several continents can be found on Rimborth Prime. This temperate forested region will serve as an ideal first landing site. The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement, and its reactor core is in the process of being removed, so it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first human city on an alien world. Well, actually, it's Elf, but hey.
Survey complete.
Alright, so that's going to take a little bit to actually establish. We can control 4 star systems. Now, I wanted to look at this.
Special project complete.
I think that brings them up as a vassal, so they are going to get some territory here, but it should be okay. Compact star studied. This star is a sad reminder that all things in the universe are finite. Once a shining star. Oh, this is that black hole that's got studied.
Construction complete.
And this survey got finished. Go ahead and survey that system there. Can we get the rest of the mining stations there built? Yes. I want to take to build a frontier outpost. We need 93. Discovery, precursor remnants. Ah. Science expedition team led by Philakis Heracleidio, the science vessel Andronikos Kyros, has found something remarkable. There's still a significant amount of infrastructure left on this world built by an ancient unknown interstellar empire. Perhaps there are more worlds like this to be discovered. Alright, so we got precursor remnants. Ecological nervous system. The plant life on this world seems to be connected to each other through a complex root system. The energetic pulses that run through it is very reminiscent of a nervous system. Observations have found that killing one plant has an effect on nearby plants that seem to close their flowers or slowly grow in the opposite direction. Interesting. So, they've got remnants of that precursor civilization, probably the same one that built the ring world.
Technology discovered.
Enlightenment complete. The thousands of scientists and advisors that were sent to Hydrex have finally completed the arduous task of bringing the local civilization up to an early space age level of technology. Under their new unified government, the aliens now style themselves the Dynastic Union of Border Star, and they have agreed to become our vassals. Our observation post above their homeworld has been dismantled as per the conditions of our treaty with them. Perfect. Now, they are a vassal. New research for the hydroponics. Let's get rid of the tile blockers. Ancient Lifepod. An abandoned Lifepod was detected in close orbit of Mernaz 5. It is covered in scorch marks, presumably from the pod's mothership exploded, and preliminary scans suggest it was built more than 5,000 years ago. The crew of the URSC Andronikos Kyros managed to open the pod, revealing the withered remains of a reptilian alien clad in a resplendent uniform. Clutched in one of its claws was a small picture of another individual from the same race, possibly a mate or revered leader. Interesting. Alright, so these guys, we are going to want to get them integrated as soon as we can. So in 10 years, we're going to go ahead and we're going to integrate them into our civilization so that that territory will become ours. Time being, let's get some mining stations built.
Survey complete. And
let's build another science ship.
Construction complete.
Though through hard work and experience, Governor Eris Macrigiani has developed new skills. Gained the intellectual trait. Good. Alright, you finished your survey there. What is this? Survey this system. A dark star. Oh. Also called dark matter stars, these are stars formed in the early universe before conventional stars were able to form. They are mostly composed of baryonic matter, but its dark matter component generates enough heat to prevent nuclear fusion from happening, turning them into almost invisible to the naked eye.
Construction complete.
Weird. Let's go study it. The campaign to elect a new revered elder is underway. So, let's see. What do we got? Democratic ruler election. Who's our current? This is one of our governors. These are So you're an industrialist. Off-world miner, orbital researcher. Fertility preacher, resilient. Frontier spirit. Space miner. I think we're going to support the current ruler.
Technology discovered.
To advance the technology, the dynastic unit of Border Star is now a vassal. Ah. New ruler has been elected. Alright. Research speed is up, and we're going to grab... Do we want point defense? Assist research? Fusion power mining drone lasers? I guess we'll go with the mining drone lasers. Because then it'll give us a different weapon that we can use on our ships. And I just noticed that we are rather long on this episode. Oh, we just completed a survey. We have a new science ship. Let me just take care of this real quick. I'm going to recruit a new scientist. Ancient civilizations anomalies. Anomaly research speed, anomaly fail risk. We're going to grab you because you're going to go on a starship. And I want you to get out here surveying systems. And you continue working on your surveys. And you continue working on your surveys. Alright. So with that, we're going to go ahead, we're going to end this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.